I rolled into Oak Estates expecting peace. Neat houses, quiet streets, a fresh start. But the illusion cracked fast. The HOA wasn't a neighborly club. It was a tin-pot dictatorship, a clique of middle-aged men in navy polos, homemade badges pinned crooked, cargo pants stuffed into combat boots, strutting like SWAT with walkie-talkies and citation pads, drunk on their own fake power. Day one, I'd barely unloaded my black pickup, standard, no logos. When Beer Belly, a gruff guy with wraparound shades, waddled up, throat clearing like a judge. "Sir, no overnight parking here. HOA rules ban work vehicles from site," pointing at my truck in my own driveway. I stared. "It's personal," stifling a laugh, his head shaking. "Doesn't matter, violation." My eye roll ending it as I went inside, but Dawn brought an orange ticket slapped on my windshield. $250 for unauthorized parking, absurdity dawning. They weren't just nosy. They were wannabe cops, and I was their new target. Next week, I watched them roam. Mall cop rejects harassing an old couple over a bird feeder, fining a kid for skateboarding, barking at grass length like it was a felony. Their cheap badges glinting, a twisted game of judge and jury, dangerous because they craved real authority they'd never earn. That ticket. I ignored it, no legal weight, just their delusion. But they didn't like being brushed off. Morning coffee on my porch, I spotted them. Beer Belly and Clipboard, a wiry guy with a smug grin, packing my drive, walkies crackling. "Unauthorized vehicle, tow request." My mug still warm as a rusted tow truck groaned up. Driver half asleep, them waving it over like a crime scene. I stepped out. "Think hard about this." Voice steady, Clipboard sneering. "HOA bylaws, removal at your expense." My arms folding, tow guy hesitating, their fantasy teetering. I wasn't some pushover. I was the county sheriff, and they'd just lit a fuse they couldn't snuff. "You're making a mistake," I said, Clipboard scoffing. "Police won't help," my grin slow. "Call M. I'm curious how this ends." A hint of steel creeping in, Beer Belly paling, Clipboard blind to the cliff. "That's a bold claim," my badge flipping out. Sheriff's department real, not their dime store tin. Silence slamming down, Beer Belly stumbling back, mouth flapping, Clipboard's bravado cracking. "Doesn't change bylaws." My "you're not cops," no authority to tow, fine, or enforce squat, cutting deep. Their rights a lie, my truck unhooked as the driver bylaid. "I'm out," Clipboard. "This isn't over," a whimper, my "keep coming. "I'll arrest you for trespassing, harassment, grand theft auto," a promise. Their retreat swift, my coffee cold, their game exposed. They didn't know who they'd picked, and I'd make sure they never forgot. Oak Estates lured me with calm, a refuge after years on the beat. But their HOA was a power trip I'd dismantle. Their fake badges a felony I'd nail, my truck a line they'd crossed, their laws a sham I'd shred. They'd find bird feeders, ban kids' wheels, now aimed at me. Clueless, I'd turn their playhouse inside out. Sheriff, not tenant, their enforcement, a joke I'd end, my porch a perch. Their walkie static, my badge, their wake-up, the tow truck. Dust their first loss, my fight, their nightmare brewing. They're not over, a taunt I'd bury, the neighborhood watching, my truck parked proud. Their empire a sandcastle I'd kick down, step by smug step. Dust still hung from the tow truck's retreat as I sipped cold coffee on my porch. Oak Estates HOA clowns, Beer Belly and Clipboard, scurrying off, my sheriff's badge a gut punch they hadn't braced for. They're not over, a hollow echo I'd drown out. My truck parked defiantly in their violation zone. They'd strutted in navy polos, fake badges, walkies buzzing. Day one, Beer Bellies, no work vehicles, a laughable decree, my "it's personal" ignored. Their $250 ticket a paper tiger I'd tossed. Their power a fantasy I'd shred. Next morning, their tow gambit, Clipboard's HOA bylaws and Beer Belly's nods, crumbled when I flashed steel. "Call the police." Their bravado buckling, tow guy bolting, my "you're not cops," no authority a blade, their enforcement exposed, my driveway a line they'd never cross again, or so I thought. They weren't the type to slink off, they'd double down and I'd be ready. I'd clocked their game early. Mall cop wannabes fining bird feeders, banning skateboards, terrorizing grass lengths, a neighborhood under their thumb, their cheap badges a delusion I'd shatter, my move-in piece a mirage they'd torched. Days later, their next play hit, HOA community meeting. A stage for their fake muscle, curiosity pulling me to the clubhouse. Folding tables, them posturing like generals, Gregory Holt, wiry prez at the helm, polos lined up, arms crossed, a farsi, gate crash. Holt's voice boomed. "Certain residents defy standards." eyes flicking me, ignoring fines, obstructing enforcement. My chair creaking as I waited. His no choice, further action, a cue, beer belly, and clipboard stepping up. John Carter under citizen's arrest for violations, obstruction, aggression. Clipboard brandishing zip ties, my laughter erupting, pure belly deep. Room freezing, their stand up, a tinny order I'd flip. "You're the punchline," I roared, badge out. Sheriff's Department, clipboard halting, zip ties dangling, beer belly blanching, Holt reddening. "This isn't a joke." My "oh, it is" sharp, homeowners whispering, "Oh damn," laughter bubbling, my citizen's arrest needs a crime. HOA rules aren't laws, slicing their authority dust, Holt sputtering, "You can't." My "I can" cutting, phone up. "You're criminals impersonating cops, a felony." Their faces twisting, my notebook out. "I've dug, fines, threats, fraud." The room tilting, there no proof, a gasp I'd choke. They'd find my truck, tried towing, now arrest. Clueless I'd turn their stage to ash, my badge their trap, their walkies mute, my truck a taunt. Their laws a scam I'd gut, Oak Estates watching, their empire fraying, my fight their reckoning. Meeting's end loomed as I paced. Holt's protect the community, a lie, my "you control nothing" low, their zip ties a felony I'd nail, homeowners stirring, my "you've extorted them" a spark, their outrageous a wheeze, my phone pinging, recordings they'd bragged into, Holt. "Make them think we're cops, a noose," clipboard. "Legal trouble." They won't call, my paw's a hammer, conspiracy, fraud, theft by deception. Their badges toys, my badge reel, they're not over, a bluff I'd bury, deputies on speed dial. My truck safe, their enforcement, a house of cards I'd topple. Oak Estates lured me with quiet. Now their HOA's wannabe cops faced a sheriff, their arrest a joke I'd end, my porch a fort, their standards a scam I'd burn, the clubhouse their cage, my fight their fall, step by smug, stupid step. The clubhouse air thickened as I stood, badge gleaming, Sheriff's Department. Holt's citizen's arrest, a busted play, clipboard zip ties limp, beer belly shrinking, my laughter still echoing, Oak Estates. HOA clowns caught mid-fantasy. They're not over, a dying gasp I'd smother. Holt, protect the community, croaked, my "you're criminals" a whip, phone up, recording rolling, Holt. Make them think we're cops, clipboard. Legal trouble, they won't call, their own words a noose, my conspiracy, fraud, impersonation a gavel, homeowners gasping, "Oh damn," Holt. No proof, a choke, my notebook out, complaints, harassment, fake fines, Mrs. Calloway's $8,000 for offense, Dawson's fake notices, their authority ash, my hand over records. Or state attorneys next a blade, their empire teetering, my truck a taunt, their laws a scam I'd gut. Day one, beer bellies, no work vehicles hit. My truck, my driveway, their $250 ticket a joke I'd ignored, tow try next, my badge flipping it. "You're not cops," their retreat swift now this. Arrest with zip ties, their clubhouse a stage I'd burn, Holt. "You caw a wheeze, my watch me cool, deputies boots thudding in, Ramirez sharp, fraud, impersonation, extortion." Holt's laugh frail, insane, my warrant out. Signed this morning, 5 years of records, their faces draining. Clipboard flinching, beer belly sweating, my "you're done" low, files seized, fake badges pocketed, bought online. Their "we didn't impersonate" a whimper, my video, threats, zip ties, proof, cuff snapping, Holt. "This isn't happening" a mutter, my "it is" a lock, their enforcement dust, my fight their end. Oak Estates lured me with peace, neat streets, quiet nights. Shattered by their HOA, Navy polos, walkies, a dictatorship I'd dismantle, fining bird feeders, banning skateboards, my truck their line, their standards, a power trip I'd shred. Tow flop, arrest, farce, clueless I'd turn their game, my badge their trap, homeowners rising. "You stole thousands." My "they'll pay" a vow, deputies hauling, Holt. No proof, a ghost, my every dime a promise, they're not over, a bluff I'd crush, the room roaring, their laws a lie I'd bury, my porch a fort, their community a scam I'd torch. They'd strutted, fined, threatened, now cuffed, their officers a felony I'd nail, my truck parked proud, their walkies mute, the clubhouse their cage, my fight their ruin. Weeks later, fallout hit, records spilling. Offshore accounts, fake maintenance, fees, Holt's security fund, a slush, my coffee warm as courts tore in, homeowners testifying, years of fines, threats, Holt's 15 years, clipboard and beer belly 10 each, fraud, laundering, embezzlement, they're not over, a cell block whisper, HOA dissolved, my truck untouched, their enforcement ash, a block party blooming where they'd ruled, kids free, no citations, my "you picked the wrong guy" a quiet win, their empire gone, my fight their grave. Oak Estates breathed, peace I'd sought, their cops, a scam I'd ended, my badge their wake up, The neighborhoods laugh their dirge, my porch a perch. Their authority a memory I'd burned, step by smug, stupid step. Their downfall a lesson, don't fake what you can't face. Spring sun warmed Oak Estates as the clubhouse raid faded. Holtz, arrest, a zip tie flop, my badge a sledgehammer. They're not over, a whimper I'd silenced. Deputies hauling files, fake badges confiscated, Ramirez's fraud, impersonation a lock, Holtz insane a croak, my warrant gutting their scam, cuffs snapping, their empire ash. Day one beer bellies, no work vehicles hit my truck. My driveway, their $250 ticket trash, tow try next, my you're not cops flipping it, now arrest in their court. Clipboards ties, Holtz sputter, my laugh recording, make them think we're cops. Their noose homeowners erupting, $8,000. Fake notices. My records or jail a blade, their laws a lie I'd torched, the room roaring, my truck a taunt, their enforcement dust, my fight their end. Weeks unspooled, courts tore in. Offshore accounts. Maintenance fees siphoned, Holtz security fund a piggy bank, homeowners testifying, fines, threats. Holtz 15 years, clipboard and beer belly 10, fraud, laundering, embezzlement. They're not over, a cell block echo, HOA axed, my porch humming, their authority ash. I'd rolled in for peace, neat houses, quiet streets. Shattered by their HOA, navy polos, walkies, a power trip I'd shred, fining bird feeders, banning skateboards, my truck their line, their standards, a scam I'd gutted, toe flop. Arrest, farce, clueless I'd flip it, my badge their trap, neighbors free, my you picked wrong a quiet win, their cops, a felony I'd nailed, the clubhouse their cage, my fight their grave. Summer bloomed, block party in their court. Kids racing, no fines, their rules erased, my truck parked proud, their walkies mute. A new board rising, resident-led, no dictators, my coffee warm as thanks rolled in, beers at the bar, their enforcement a ghost I'd banished. They'd strutted beer bellies ticket, clipboards toe, Holt. Arrest, they're not over, a bluff I'd crushed, records spilling, their community, a fraud I'd burned, my porch a fort, their laws a memory I'd torched, the neighborhoods laugh their dirge. Oak Estates breathed, peace I'd fought for their cops, a scam I'd ended, my badge their wake-up, Holt's orange jumpsuit their fall, my fight their lesson, don't fake what you can't face. Fall sharpened, courts seized Holt's house, cars, savings, homeowners repaid. Their standards a ruin I'd raised, my truck untouched, their authority a sandcastle I'd kicked, the party's echo a win, no HOA to choke it, my you're done a lock they'd never break. They find my driveway, tried towing. Arrested me, clueless I'd turn it, they're not over, a whisper I'd buried, the neighborhood free, my badge their end, their enforcement a joke I'd shredded, step by smug, stupid step. Oak Estates shone, quiet I'd reclaimed, their cops, a felony I'd nailed, my porch a perch, their community a lie I'd gutted, the block party their requiem, my fight their collapse. A sheriff's win they'd never outrun, their power a shadow I'd burn to nothing. Winter frost bit Oak Estates as I leaned on my porch, coffee steaming, my truck gleaming under a thin ice sheen. The HOA's collapse still fresh. Holt's 15-year sentence, clipboard and beer bellies 10. They're not over, a prison mutter I'd silenced, the block party's warmth a memory, their enforcement ash I'd swept. Day one beer bellies, no work vehicles, ticketed my truck. My driveway, their tow try next, my badge flipping it. You're not cops. Then their arrest with zip ties, my laugh and recordings. Make them think we're cops. Their noose, deputies storming, files seized, cuffs snapping. Their laws, a scam I'd gutted, homeowners free, my fight their end. Courts had shredded them. Offshore accounts, fake fees, Holt's security fund, a fraud, their standards, a lie I'd torched. The neighborhood breathing, my porch a fort, their authority dust. Snow dusted the streets as thanks kept coming, beers at the bar, notes under my door. You saved us. My we did steady, the new board humming, no dictators, just neighbors. Their first act a snow-clearing crew, no fines, my truck parked proud. Their cops, a felony I'd nailed. I'd rolled in for peace, neat houses, quiet nights. Shattered by their HOA, navy polos, walkies, a power trip I'd ended. Fining bird feeders, banning skateboards, my truck their line, they're not over, a bluff I'd crushed. Holt's orange jumpsuit their fall, my badge their wake-up, the clubhouse their cage, my fight their ruin. But peace wasn't enough. I'd burned their scam, not its roots. Wannabes could rise again, my sheriff's eye sharp, their enforcement a ghost I'd keep buried, step by smug, stupid step. A call crackled, Ramirez. Holt's appealing claims coercion, my grin cold. Let him try. Her evidence is iron, he's sunk. My good, dig deeper. coffee bitter as I paced, their community a fraud I'd gutted, my truck untouched, their laws a memory I'd raised. Courts had repaid homeowners, Holt's house sold, assets seized, but whispers lingered. Others watched him, my gut tightening, Oak Estates free but fragile, their standards a scam I'd shredded, my porch a perch, they're not over, a taunt I'd bury again. I hit the station, files sprawling, fake citations, forged notices, Holt's security a front, my no loose ends a vow, the neighborhoods laugh their dirge, my badge their end, their authority, a sandcastle I'd kick twice if needed. Dusk fell as I met the board, porch lights glowing, no HOA shadow, their no-power trips a pact, my keep-it residentron firm, a kid sledding no fines, their enforcement, ash I'd guard. Holt's appeal a last gasp I'd choke, my truck a taunt there. Cops, a lesson I'd cement. Oak Estates shone, quiet I'd reclaimed, their arrest a joke I'd flipped, my fight their collapse, the snow softening their laws to nothing, my you picked wrong a lock they'd never break, their community a lie I'd burned, the block party their requiem, my sheriff's watch eternal, their power a ruin I'd hold down, frost sealing their grave, my peace the prize they'd never touch, step by smug, stupid, final step. Spring thaw softened Oak Estates as I stood on my porch, coffee steaming, my truck gleaming under morning dew, Holt's appeal a faint buzz. 15 years locked, clipboard and beer bellies 10 holding, they're not over, a cell block whisper I'd crushed, the block parties echo fatting, their enforcement, ash I'd swept clean. Day one beer bellies, no work vehicles, ticketed my truck, my driveway their tow try flipped by my badge. You're not cops. Their arrest with zip ties a laugh, recordings. Make them think we're cops. Their trap, deputies raiding, cuffs snapping, their laws a scam I'd gutted, homeowners free, my fight their ruin. Courts had buried them, offshore accounts, fake fees, Holt's security fund a fraud, their standards a lie I'd torched, the neighborhood alive, my porch a fort, their authority dust I'd guard. Buds bloomed as Ramirez called, appeals dead, judge laughed it out, my good, any stragglers. Firm her quiet, but we're watching. My coffee warm, their community a scam I'd shredded, my truck untouched, their cops a felony I'd nailed. I'd sought peace, neat streets, quiet nights. Shattered by their HOA, Navy polos, walkies, a power trip I'd ended. Finding bird feeders, banning skateboards, my truck their line, they're not over, a bluff I'd burned. Holt's orange jumpsuit their fall, my badge their wake-up. The clubhouse their cage, my fight their grave. Snow had melted, but whispers nagged. Others learned from him, my gut stirring, Oak Estates thriving yet exposed. Their enforcement, a ghost I'd keep down, my sheriff's eye sharp, their laws, a memory I'd bury deeper, step by smug, stupid step. A letter slid under my door unsigned. You think it's over? We're watching. My grin slow, their standards, a ruin I'd raised, my truck a taunt, their authority, a sandcastle I'd kick again. I hit the station, files open. Holt's old contacts, wannabes sniffing, my no new HOAs, a vow, coffee bitter as I traced. They're not over, a taunt I'd choke. The neighborhoods laugh their dirge, my badge their end. Evening brought the board, porch lights soft. No cops lurking, their residentron, a shield, my stay vigilant, someone's testing. A kid biking, no fines, their enforcement, ash I'd guard. Holt's echo, a shadow I'd snuff, my truck proud, their laws, a lie I'd burn twice if needed. Night fell as I scouted, streets quiet, no walkies, but a shadow lingered. A figure by the clubhouse, my flashlight catching navy fabric, my step out low. A kid bolting, badge dropped. Cheap, fake, my their back a growl, their community a fraud I'd gut again, my porch a perch. They're not over, a spark I'd douse. The block party their requiem, my fight their lesson. Oak Estates glowed. Peace I'd reclaimed, their arrest a joke I'd flipped, my truck a line they'd never cross, their cops a scam I'd end, the Dew settling their power to nothing, my you picked wrong a lock, their standards a ruin I'd hold down, my sheriff's watch eternal, their authority a whisper I'd silence, spring sealing their grave, my peace the prize they'd never steal, step by smug, stupid, final step. Summer heat baked Oak Estates as I paced my porch, coffee steaming, my truck shimmering in the haze, Holt's 15-year cell a distant hum, clipboard and beer bellies 10 a lock. They're not over, a whisper I'd crushed, the block party a fatting cheer, their enforcement ash I'd swept. Until that fake badge glinted last night, dropped by a fleeing kid in Navy, my their back a growl, their laws a scam I'd gut again. Day one beer bellies, no work vehicles, ticketed my truck, my driveway tow try flipped by my badge. You're not cops. Their arrest with zip ties a laugh, recordings. Make them think we're cops. Their noose, deputies raiding, cuffs snapping, their standards, a lie I'd torched, homeowners free, my fight, their ruin, Holt's orange jumpsuit, their fall, my porch a fort, their authority, dust, now stirring. Sun climbed as I hit the station, badge in hand, new players, Ramirez nodding. Checking Holt's old crew, someone's recruiting, my find M. Coffee bitter, their community, a fraud I'd shredded, my truck a taunt, their cops, a felony I'd nailed twice. I'd rolled in for peace, neat streets, quiet nights. Shattered by their HOA, navy polos, walkies, a power trip I'd ended. Finding bird feeders, banning skateboards, my truck their line, they're not over a bluff I'd burned, the clubhouse their cage, my fight their grave. Now a shadow crept that letter. We're watching, my grin cold, their enforcement a ghost I'd bury deeper. Oak Estates thriving but I'd, my sheriff's watch sharp, their laws a memory I'd raise again, step by smug, stupid step. Dusk flared, tires crunched, a van idling by the park, navy figures unloading, my flashlight ready, step out. 3 scattering, 1 caught young, sweaty, just a job. My who's paying? Low his some guy, ex-HOA, badge pinned, fake, my you're done a lock, their standards, a ruin I'd crush, my truck untouched, they're not over a spark I'd douse. Station hummed, kids spilled. Met online, promised cash, Holt's ghost, my rate it. Deputies rolling, a garage stash, polos, walkies, citation pads. My conspiracy, impersonation, their authority, ash I'd guard, the neighborhoods laugh their dirge, my badge their end, their cops, a scam I'd gut again, the board alerted. Tighten up. Kids playing, no fines, my fight their lesson. Night deepened as I stood watch. Streets quiet, van seized. Their community, a lie I'd burned, my porch a perch. Their enforcement, a shadow I'd snuff. The block party, their requiem, my truck proud. Their laws, a fraud I'd bury twice. Oak Estates pulsed. Peace I'd reclaimed. Their arrest, a joke I'd flipped. Ramirez's, their small-time copycats, my still dangerous. Heat pressing their power to nothing. My you picked wrong avow, their standards, a ruin I'd hold down, my sheriffs I eternal. They're not over a whisper I'd choke, the summer sealing their grave, my peace the prize they'd never steal, homeowners free, my badge their wake-up, their authority, a sandcastle I'd kick, step by smug, stupid, final step, until the next fool tried. Fall leaves swirled through Oak Estates as I gripped my porch rail, coffee steaming, my truck gleaming under crisp sun, Holt's 15-year cage a faint echo. Clipboard and beer bellies 10 a lock. They're not over a whisper I'd crushed. Until that garage raid, navy polos, walkies, fake badges, copycats sniffing Holt's ashes. My they're done a growl, their laws a scam I'd gut for good. Day 1 beer bellies, no work vehicles, ticketed my truck. My driveway, tow try flipped by my badge. You're not cops. Their arrest with zip ties a laugh recordings. Make them think we're cops. Their noose, deputies storming, Holt's crew cuffed, their standards, a lie I'd torched. Now this, new fools, my fight their end, their enforcement dust I. Sweep clean, step by smug, stupid, final step. Frost lingered as Ramirez called. Ringleaders cornered, ex-HOA lackey Holt's pal. My bring him. Coffee cold, their community, a fraud I'd shredded, my truck a taunt, their cops, a felony I'd nail again. I'd rolled in for peace, neat streets, quiet nights. Shattered by their HOA, finding bird feeders, banning skateboards, my truck their line. They're not over a bluff I'd burned, the clubhouse their cage, my badge their wake-up. Now copycats, that van the kid. Just a job, my raid crushing it, their authority, ash I'd guard, Oak Estates glowing, their enforcement a ghost I'd bury forever. Dusk hit squad cars rolled, a wiry guy, ex-HOA, cuffed, sneering. You can't stop us. My watch me low, his will rebuild a wheeze, my not here a lock, their standards a ruin I'd raise. Station buzzed, his laptop spilled. Chats plans, take Oak back, my conspiracy impersonation. Deputies hauling gear, they're not over a spark I'd douse, the board meeting fast. No gaps, cameras up. Kids biking, no fines, my truck proud, their laws a lie I'd gut twice. Night fell, streets quiet. His we're watching, a letter I'd burned, my flashlight sweeping, no shadows. Their community, a scam I'd torched, my porch a perch, the block party, their requiem, homeowners free. My you picked wrong avow, their cops a lesson I'd cement. Courts slammed, ringleader 12 years, copycats scattered, their power nothing, my badge their end. The neighborhoods laugh their dirge, my fight their grave. Fall sealing their doom, my peace the prize they'd never touch. Winter dawned, Oak Estates shone, no HOA echo, the board solid, resident run. A kid's leaf pile unfined, my truck untouched. Their enforcement, ash-eyed guard eternal. Holt's orange jumpsuit their fall, my sheriff's watch sharp, their authority, a sandcastle I'd kicked for good. They ticketed my driveway, tried towing. Arrested me, clueless I'd flip it. They're not over, a whisper I'd buried, the block party a win, their standards. A ruin I'd hold down, my you're done, a lock they'd never break, their cops, a scam I'd ended. Step by smug, stupid, final step. Oak Estates breathed, quiet I'd reclaimed, their laws, a memory I'd torched, the clubhouse free, my badge, their wake-up. Their community, a lie I'd gutted, the frost, their requiem, my fight, their collapse. A sheriff's win they'd never outrun, their power, a shadow I'd burned to silence.